Good morning, America. Welcome to More Than Money. I'm Mark Manella.
Stephen Balance.
And we're glad you're with us as we talk about everything financial
From a biblical perspective.
And today we have a news alert. Alert.
Do we?
Yeah, we need kind of some funny music. News alert. And warning.
Okay.
Everything's going good.
And that's bad?
Well, it's not bad. It's good.
Okay.
But there's some concerns because of it.
There's always
That's
a but.
what we want to talk about. I don't want to bring anybody down. I want to turn a positive into a negative.
Okay.
But we need to talk about everything going good. You know, the economy's going good.
Okay.
Job market is good.
Okay.
You know, there's low unemployment. There's a lot of people back to work. People are earning more. Wages are up. I know it's not everybody's not participating in this. There's somebody who maybe just lost their job. There's somebody who is going through financial difficulties. But in general is what we're talking about. Today we're talking about in general that everything is good. And, you know, the stock market's been good.
Okay.
Today is a little rough. You know, for the last month it was a little rough, but not bad. For the last year or so, it's been good. So everything's going great. And that's why we want to bring the alert today, an alarm. Because it's during these times, often when things are going great for any decent amount of time, we have this tendency, or even Christians have the tendency to get complacent.
I can personally testify to that.
Yeah. And you know, you might say, Mark, what's wrong with being content? I didn't say content. I said complacent. There's a big difference. And even in the Bible, contentment does not mean sitting back and doing nothing or forgetting to be diligent or those kind of things. The contentment in the Bible is being content with the place and the abilities, realizing the fullness of the abilities God has given you at any moment in time. So content with who God made you to be and the fulfillment thereof.
And so what would be so if that's the contentment, then what would be the complacent side?
Well, complacency is when we get comfortable. Again, nothing wrong with getting comfortable. When we, you know, let me just give an example. This is what happens. You go through a rough time financially, like we did, you know, for 4 years prior to the last year and a half, and you know, people losing jobs, people's income going down, people. You know, things being rough, and then things turn around and things get better. Incomes start going up, life starts getting better, but we get comfortable, and in that comfortableness, we adapt very comfortably to the new standard of living that comes along with the higher wages and stuff. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't do some of that, but that's what happens. And maybe we get a little loose with the credit cards because, you know, we got the money to pay them now, right?
Yeah.
And the spending gets a little over the top. So, you know, why worry about complacency? Because just like national economic cycles or international economic cycles, you have personal economic cycles. There's ups and downs with your world and your financial world, and things don't always just continue to go up. So we need to be concerned because those cycles are happening, and if we just get real comfortable and we start acclimating and living like life is going to continue to just keep going up financially or at the peak of our financial cycle, then when things turn down, it catches us off guard, steals our peace, steals our joy, causes us to panic, anxiety, all those kind of things. And many people get caught in that. And unfortunately, because you know what? It's tiring always struggling to just make ends meet. So when things do work out, we want to and rest in it. And that's okay to take a rest. Even Jesus got away from the group, you know. But what I'd like to do is say that these times of when things are going good or great, these are a great opportunity for us to make something wonderful happen in our lives. Instead of looking at this as time to sit back, be complacent, maybe we can enjoy the moment, but enjoy it in a way that it extends it even much longer, the joy and peace of the Lord in our life.
That almost sounds like, I don't know, planning for the
future.
Ooh,
what a concept. Yeah, so instead of just consuming everything that comes our way or, you know, just going on a holiday until the markets crash or whatever. Maybe what we could do, here's some thoughts. And I just want to encourage you to consider these things. And again, consider them because they are biblical. And I'll read some of the verses that help support this as we go along. But, we want to prepare while things are good. That's the bottom line. So take advantage of the current environment of things happening in a positive direction if they're happening that way in your life, and prepare while things are good. How about this? I know this isn't going to sound good because nobody likes that term limit.
Okay.
But how about limit the expansion of your lifestyle? Don't ignore it, or don't not expand, but limit it to a portion of your increase. Meaning, if your income is going up 10-20% over the last few years, how about only absorbing half of that and taking the rest and utilizing it in a very positive way that'll help take some of the bottom off the economic curve that may be heading your way sometime in the future, the downturn. Allocate the rest of the part that you don't acclimate into, the part you purposely and prayerfully have decided that God has given you to prepare for future things.
Yeah. Mark, I remember you always giving an example of this. It's when someone gets a raise, what happens to it?
Yeah. It's very interesting, and we've seen this over the years. Imagine, and most people would say, well, I got a raise. Well, it's big. No, it's not a real big one. Maybe a couple of bucks, or maybe 10 cents an hour, or maybe a couple of bucks a day or something. It's like, okay. And their paycheck goes into their checking account, and then at the end of the month, you could ask them and say, so how'd that raise go for you? Did it really change your life? I don't even know where the money went.
What raise?
Yeah. That's because we're unconscious of that, and it just gets absorbed is what happens. But when we create a consciousness about our finance, what happens is something really exciting. If we purposely allocate that money, even if it's just to consumption, we enjoy consuming more because we purposely said, okay, I got $50 a month extra. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to go to the movies once a month. I'm going to make this my movie fund.
There you go.
And then what happens is you go to a movie and you realize that you start purposely realizing the blessings of God, consciously realizing them. Well, I'm saying be conscious and purposeful during these days of good economics, good job, good employment rates, higher wages and stuff like that, and purposely start allocating maybe some of this money to consumption, to fund things, maybe some of it to repairs. How about some of it going to start building that emergency fund so that when things don't go right, you have money to fall back onto, because it was provided by the Master Jesus instead of falling back onto the MasterCard. So, or how about this? How about paying down some of that debt so that you're prepared better for an economic downturn? And still, even more, how about putting some of that away for long term by maybe increasing your long term savings? I mean, 3 just very easy things, and it doesn't have to be a lot. If you got a 10% increase in the last year of your lifestyle or economic financial situation, maybe take 5, increase your current lifestyle, maybe take 5% and put 2% into the emergency fund monthly, 2% into your paying down debt, and 1% in increase for future lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's simple. And if we do that, we're really getting in alignment with God's will for our life. Because if you look at Proverbs 132, it says, for the waywardness of the simple will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. Boy, that's harsh. It's hard. Complacency and fools are locked together here. So effectively, complacency is foolishness, and it causes destruction. And I've seen that over the last 30 years of counseling people, is when we get complacent and we don't know what our finances are doing, we get ahead of our economics, we get overburdened, and we start increasing debt, and then it takes years to dig ourselves out, especially if there's a downturn in the economy. I don't know where the economy is going to go. Neither do you, only God does. But I do know He's given us the opportunity right now for many, many people to act on and prepare for a better future, and to minimize the impact of the world when it goes astray financially. You know, there's another proverb that I like. It's Proverbs 27:23. It says, "Be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds." Now, I had a partner many, many years ago, rest his soul, hopefully he's in heaven, but he hated when I quoted that verse. He said, "Finance has nothing to do with that. We don't have herds. We do stocks. We do bonds. We do financial planning." You know, and he was really grumpy about it. I said, "But it's the concept of it." Back then, they were agrarian. They had animals. They had farms. They did stuff like that. That was their investments. That's where their wealth came from. Today we have investments that are different, but we need and finances that are different. But we need to be aware, awake, conscious, alert about our finances, so we don't get ahead of them, and so we don't overspend, and so that we prepare for those downturns and we prepare for those emergencies and the unexpected. Be diligent to know the state of your finances and attend to those finances. I heard, and I can't remember where I heard it, it was a quick article, it might not even be a good number, but it said most people under 30 do not balance a checkbook.
A what?
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
How could they just go online and they look and they see they got money, and oftentimes they forget about the auto payments, and then they have $35, $39, $50, whatever fees for overdraft protection twice or three times a month.
Yeah.
And because of that, they're losing a lot of wealth, and instead of that money going to their lifestyle, current lifestyle, or their future lifestyle, or even to other people in need through their giving, it's going back and buying people who already have Rolls Royce and multiple homes around the world, another home and another Rolls Royce. You know, so that's what happens when we're not diligent, when we don't know the state of our money, our finances, our blessings, and we don't attend to those things.
And I think it causes a lot of unnecessary worry and fear.
Right.
I've had people tell me that they are scared to check their accounts because they don't want to know what they have or don't have.
Yeah, and there is nowhere in the Bible where God tells us to bury our head in the sand. Even if it's ugly, you need to know that. And it'd be ugly. It won't be as bad if you check it on a regular basis, and you're aware and conscious of what your finances are doing, because you'll do the right things. You'll have the information to make the right decisions, and so you'll have less times of overdrafting, of doing silly stuff, of making mistakes, because you'll be aware and conscious of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Let's go to one more proverb here, and as we're running out of time, Proverbs 6:6-12, and you've all heard this. "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no captain, overseer, or ruler, provides her supplies in the summer and gathers her food in the harvest. How long will you slumber, O sluggard? When will you rise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands asleep. So shall your poverty come on you like a prowler, and your need like an armed man." Again, it's a little heavy, but you know what? If you're going through a good time, now's the time to take an opportunity to plan, so that you don't have to feel the pains and the stings of a downturn in the economy, or your personal economy, if the world throws you a curveball and your finances don't go as planned. Everything is going well. That is the theme of today, and the whole goal is that they continue to go well despite what the world does, by doing a little planning, by listening to the wisdom of the Lord, by applying God's wisdom in your life, by not getting complacent and utilizing those blessings in a way that glorifies Him. You know, He's blessed you with this for several reasons. In our stewardship series, we talked about this. One is to supply the needs of you and your family. Another is so you can be a conduit of those blessings to others. And the third is to celebrate God. Remember, the Hebrews would party for months at a time. Millions of them at a time. That wasn't a cheap party. So God realizes it's okay to have fun, enjoy things. He just wants us to be awake, aware, conscious of those decisions, so we can give Him the glory and praise Him and honor Him in all we do. And so the message today If all is good, let's keep it good by planning
Yeah.
properly, by being awake and not getting complacent, but becoming more aware and conscious of what's going on and taking action to the glory of God.
Yeah.
If you do this, I think you'll realize that life is
So much more.
than money. God bless everyone.